He's out right now for LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record. He's on pace for 30 total touchdowns this season. Of course, LT had 29 for the record. Really great stuff.
If he gets 30 and doesn't get the 31 because he didn't run into the end zone there and didn't help your fantasy team, that'd be something else.
As long as he's winning games, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about that.
All right, so we're going to dig into that game a little bit later. But let's get into the first round of highlights that we saw with the Saints and the Vikings. Some takeaways from that, because for me, the Vikings just killed themselves with turnovers.
Yeah, the Vikings had plenty of turnovers, but you look at this New Orleans Saints team, when this defense is playing lights out, when they're getting after the quarterback, this team looks totally different. Now it allows Drew Brees to be complimentary, to play complimentary football. You don't need his Hall of Fame arm when the defense is balling out, when they're able to run the football and they're able to create turnovers and stop the other team from getting in the end zone. If this defense can keep this up, the New Orleans Saints will be playing late into this season. They will be playing late into January. Great performance by this New Orleans Saints defense.
Yeah, Brees only threw for 120 yards.
That's it. You don't need to. You don't need to throw for him.
You have Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. Since Ingram is back, they haven't lost a game.
They made the move up in the draft to get Marcus Davenport. He had a sack last night. I believe he's got 4 on the season now for him. And that strip, I mean, Cousins was down. So that tells me it's not only an attacking defense and a defense that's hoping that they're going to play better on the back end now that they've got Eli Apple, hoping he can play well there, but also creating turnovers and creating pressure up front. And that's what you've got to do in this league if you're going to be a successful defense.
If you would have told me that Kirk Cousins was going to throw for 359 yards and 2 touchdowns, I would say that the Vikings would have won the game. But when you look at the Saints, their wins, look at what they've done 2 weeks in a row now. All right, they went into Baltimore last week against a team that was coming off 11 sacks, and they protected Drew Brees, and he did a great job on third down against the blitz, all that. And then they go into Minnesota again against another great defense. I mean, I don't know if we're giving Drew Brees enough credit. We should be talking about him in the MVP category. We're talking about Goff and Mahomes and Gurley, but what Drew Brees has done, yeah, the numbers may not be there, but week in and week out, he's finding ways to win games. Think about some of these close games that they've had. Now, they just won 2 tough ones on the road, but they also, the extra point missed by Justin Tucker, close game right there. They needed a missed field goal against Cleveland to win that game. So the Saints, they're battle-tested right now, and they're a tough team right now. They're a tough out.
Sean, you mentioned something about the Minnesota Vikings. They thought the quarterback change would be the difference in this team. They're throwing for a lot more yards. Kirk Cousins obviously is better than Case Keenum, but it's not resulting into more wins. And to me, it looks like whenever this Minnesota Vikings team, doesn't capture the line of scrimmage, they lose the football game. When they don't capture the line of scrimmage, the defense doesn't look so good in a lot of these games. I'm surprised with this Minnesota Vikings defense because I thought they could kind of recapture what they had last year, and it's not coming to fruition.
Same, yeah.
Shocking.
You talked about it yesterday when you said that they're having trouble covering the running backs.
Yep.
And what did Sean Payton and the Saints do? They matched up those linebackers against those running backs, and they got a couple of big plays off of that. So thank you for watching our show.
That's right. That's what it all kind of comes down to. The Saints, by the way, they actually were able to get to the quarterback. I feel like the back end sort of helped out the pass rush a little bit. They sacked Kirk 4 times. They hit him 9 times. This is something that we haven't really seen that much this year. We saw it a lot last year, but maybe a little switching up on the back end there. Ken Crawley, he was a healthy scratch yesterday, so they
what you trying to say, Colleen?
In there across from Marshawn Lattimore. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe mixing things up, it kind of worked. Let's get our friend Ian Rappaport in here.